Ladies and gentlemen, close your eyes for a moment and breathe deeply. Wealth, 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 quietly, slowly, like a gentle lullaby, repeating softly in the background as you continue speaking. Tonight we awaken the infinite power within your subconscious mind, the same power that governs the universe and flows as endless abundance. Dr. Joseph Murphy revealed that wealth is not chased through sweat and struggle, but impressed upon the subconscious through feeling and faith. You are not here to merely survive. You are here to claim the riches that are your divine birthright. Let us now unlock the treasure house of infinity that lies within you. The feeling of wealth produces wealth. This single truth, revealed through the timeless wisdom of the subconscious mind, stands as one of the most profound laws governing human experience. When you truly feel wealthy deep within, not as a distant hope or fleeting wish, but as a living, breathing conviction in every fiber of your being, the outer world begins to mirror that inner state with remarkable precision. The subconscious mind operates like a faithful servant, responding not to empty words or forced declarations, but to the genuine emotional tone you impress upon it. It accepts the feeling of wealth as reality and sets in motion the creative forces of the universe to bring corresponding conditions into your life. Consider how the mind truly functions. Your conscious mind reasons, analyzes, and often doubts, but the subconscious mind is the creative powerhouse that accepts impressions without question. It does not argue or debate. It simply magnifies whatever you deposit into it through sustained feeling and belief. If you carry the feeling of lack, worry about bills, or resentment toward those who seem to have more, that very feeling is impressed deeply, and more lack flows toward you. The law works both ways, always. But when you shift to the feeling of wealth, when you begin to sense abundance as your natural state, the subconscious accepts this as true and begins to attract opportunities, ideas, resources, and circumstances that align with prosperity. This principle is not about mechanical repetition of affirmations like "I am rich," spoken without emotion. Such statements often create inner conflict because the conscious mind may still feel the pinch of current conditions. Instead, the real key lies in cultivating the actual sensation of being wealthy right now, in this moment. Feel the ease, the freedom, the joy that comes with financial security. Imagine the relief of knowing that money circulates freely in your experience, that there is always more than enough for your needs and generous sharing with others. This feeling must be gentle yet persistent, like a quiet inner knowing that settles into the deeper layers of mind. Dr. Joseph Murphy emphasized this repeatedly in his teachings. He pointed out that wealth is ultimately a state of consciousness. It is not primarily about the number of dollars in your bank account, though those will follow naturally. It is about the inner conviction that you are worthy of abundance, that supply is infinite, and that you are aligned with the boundless riches of life itself. The feeling of wealth produces wealth because it conditions the subconscious to expect and accept prosperity as normal. Once this conditioning takes root, your thoughts, decisions, and actions begin to flow from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. You notice opportunities that others miss. Creative ideas emerge effortlessly. People and situations that support your growth appear as if by magic, though it is no magic at all. It is the natural response of the law of mind. Think about the analogy Murphy often used. The subconscious is like a universal bank or financial institution. Whatever you deposit through your dominant feelings and beliefs, it returns with compound interest. Deposit thoughts and feelings of limitation, and you receive more limitation. Deposit the rich, luxurious feeling of wealth, and the returns come in avalanches of abundance. This is why simply repeating positive statements without the accompanying feeling yields little result. The subconscious demands emotional conviction. It responds to what you truly accept as true in your heart. To build this feeling, one must quiet the conscious mind and enter a relaxed, receptive state. In that drowsy, peaceful condition, just before sleep or during moments of calm throughout the day, the barrier between conscious and subconscious thins. Impressions sink in more easily. Here is where the practice of feeling wealth becomes powerful. You do not strain or force it. You simply allow the sensation to rise naturally. Sense what it would feel like to have complete financial freedom. Feel the confidence, the generosity, the inner peace that comes when money is no longer a source of anxiety, but a tool for good. Let that feeling permeate your entire being. Many have discovered through personal experience how transformative this can be. A person struggling with debt might begin by releasing resentment toward money and instead cultivating gratitude for the supply already present, however small it seems at first. As they persist in feeling wealthy, new income streams open up, perhaps an unexpected refund, a better job offer, or a creative business idea that gains traction. The outer changes follow the inner feeling because the subconscious is always projecting your inner state onto the screen of life. The feeling of wealth is not selfish or materialistic in the negative sense. When properly understood, it aligns you with the infinite intelligence that governs all creation. This intelligence flows as abundance in nature. Think of the endless harvest from a single seed, the vast oceans, the stars in their billions. You are part of this same creative principle. By feeling wealthy, you are not taking from others. You are opening yourself to the circulation of good that benefits everyone. True wealth consciousness includes the desire to use riches wisely, to uplift others, and to express your unique talents in service. Critics sometimes argue that this approach ignores hard work or practical effort, yet the opposite is true. When the feeling of wealth is established in the subconscious, inspired action follows naturally. You work not from desperation or fear of lack, but from joy and creativity. Ideas come more readily. Energy levels rise. Obstacles that once seemed insurmountable dissolve as new solutions present themselves. The subconscious guides you toward the right people, the right decisions, the right timing. Effort becomes effortless because it is aligned with your inner conviction. Contrast this with the common approach of chasing wealth through constant struggle. Many labor endlessly, sacrificing health and happiness, only to find that money slips away as quickly as it arrives. Why? Because their dominant feeling remains one of lack or fear. They may accumulate some assets, but the inner state of scarcity persists, leading to poor decisions, missed opportunities, or unexpected losses. The feeling of wealth changes all that. It creates a magnetic quality that draws prosperity without the need for frantic striving. Building this feeling requires consistency and patience at first. Begin each day by affirming quietly to yourself the reality of abundance, not with loud declarations that the conscious mind might reject, but with soft, feeling-filled reminders. Throughout the day, whenever thoughts of worry arise, gently return to the sensation of wealth. Feel it in your body as a warm, expansive confidence. Visualize yourself living with ease, paying bills with gratitude, sharing generously, enjoying the fruits of your labors without tension. These mental pictures, charged with emotion, sink deeper and deeper into the subconscious. In the evening, as you prepare for rest, the practice becomes even more potent. Lie comfortably and allow your body to relax fully. Then, softly and rhythmically, repeat the word wealth with deep feeling, just as a mother might sing a lullaby to soothe her child. Do not rush. Let each repetition carry the full emotional tone of prosperity. Feel wealthy as you drift toward sleep. This is the time when the subconscious is most receptive, free from the arguments of the waking mind. Night after night, this gentle impression builds a new mental habit. The subconscious begins to accept wealth as your normal state, and external evidence starts to appear. One man who applied this principle faithfully reported remarkable shifts. Facing mounting bills and dwindling savings, he stopped focusing on the lack and instead cultivated the feeling of having more than enough. Each night, he lulled himself to sleep with the single word, wealth, feeling its reality as deeply as possible. Within weeks, a long-forgotten debt was repaid to him unexpectedly. New clients appeared for his small business. Ideas for expansion flowed effortlessly. What changed was not his outer effort alone, but the inner feeling that preceded and guided that effort. Another example involves a professional who felt stuck in a low-paying role despite years of experience. By consistently impressing the feeling of wealth upon the subconscious Through relaxed visualization and the lullaby practice, opportunities for promotion and side ventures emerged. Colleagues noticed a new confidence in him. Doors that had remained closed began to open. The feeling preceded the manifestation, proving once again that the inner state shapes the outer. This law applies universally, regardless of starting point. Whether you begin with very little or already enjoy some measure of success, deepening the feeling of wealth can multiply your good. It removes hidden blocks, old beliefs that money is scarce, that the rich are greedy, or that you must suffer to earn. Replace those with the liberating truth that wealth is a divine expression flowing through you when you align with it emotionally and mentally. Remember that the subconscious does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined with feeling. This is why the practice works so effectively. By living in the feeling of wealth before the outer proof arrives, you impress a new blueprint. The creative intelligence within responds by orchestrating events, insights, and coincidences that bring the picture into tangible form. As you continue this process, watch for subtle signs, a sudden sense of calm around financial matters, an inspired idea that solves a problem, an unexpected gift or discount. These are indications that the subconscious is at work, adjusting your experience to match the new inner feeling. Celebrate these small evidences with gratitude, as gratitude itself strengthens the impression of abundance. The feeling of wealth produces wealth because it harmonizes you with the infinite supply that surrounds us all. It shifts your vibration from contraction and fear to expansion and trust. In that expanded state, life responds generously. Relationships improve as you carry less tension. Health often benefits from reduced stress. Creativity flourishes. Everything in your world begins to reflect the inner riches you have claimed. Continue nurturing this feeling daily and nightly. Let it become your dominant emotional climate. Speak of prosperity with warmth and conviction. See money as a positive force for good when used with wisdom. Release any envy or judgment toward those who are wealthy, for such negative feelings only reinforce lack within yourself. Instead, rejoice in their success as evidence that abundance is available to all. In moments of apparent setback, return quickly to the feeling. Do not dwell on the temporary appearance. Affirm silently that the subconscious is now working to dissolve the obstacle and reveal greater good. This mental discipline strengthens the impression until the feeling of wealth becomes automatic, a permanent part of your consciousness. Many who have walked this path describe a profound inner transformation. What once felt like a constant battle against circumstances becomes a graceful dance with opportunity. Decisions become clearer. Peace replaces anxiety. The joy of living increases even before large sums appear, because the true wealth is the inner state itself. The principle remains simple yet infinitely powerful. The feeling of wealth produces wealth. Keep this truth close to your heart. Impress it deeply through relaxed repetition and genuine emotion. Allow the subconscious mind to do its perfect work. As the feeling grows stronger, so will the evidence in your daily life. Opportunities multiply. Resources flow. Ideas inspire action that leads to greater freedom and fulfillment. This is the natural law of mind in operation. Your subconscious is always listening, always creating according to the seeds you plant through feeling. Choose the seeds of wealth. Water them with consistent, quiet conviction. Watch as they grow into a harvest far beyond what you might have imagined possible through effort alone. The feeling of wealth produces wealth. Let this idea echo within you softly, repeatedly, until it becomes the very atmosphere in which you live. Feel it now, in this present moment. Sense the expansion, the ease, the quiet confidence that wealth is already yours in consciousness. From this inner reality, all outer expressions must follow in perfect order. As the impression deepens over days and weeks, you may notice your speech changing. You speak more positively about money and success. You notice abundance in small things, the beauty of a free park, the generosity of a friend, the unexpected savings on a purchase. These observations reinforce the feeling, creating a positive feedback loop that accelerates the process. Even in challenging economic times, those who hold firmly to the feeling of wealth often fare better. They remain open to creative solutions while others contract in fear. History shows countless examples of individuals who rose from humble or difficult beginnings by changing their inner state first. The outer conditions eventually conform because the subconscious cannot long maintain a mismatch between inner conviction and external reality. Practice feeling wealthy in every area, not just finances. Feel rich in health, in love, in peace of mind, in creative expression. The subconscious treats all these as aspects of the same abundant life. When wealth consciousness expands, it tends to lift every department of your experience. Avoid the trap of checking constantly for results or becoming discouraged if they seem slow at first. The deeper work happens beneath the surface, much like roots growing strong before the plant appears above ground. Trust the process. The law is reliable when applied with patience and feeling. Some find it helpful to combine the feeling with gratitude. Each evening as you repeat wealth like a soothing lullaby, give thanks for the abundance already flowing and for the greater good on its way. Gratitude amplifies the emotional charge and speeds acceptance by the subconscious. Others incorporate gentle visualizations, seeing themselves handling money with ease, enjoying the lifestyle that reflects freedom, sharing generously, but always return to the core, the feeling. Pictures without feeling have little power. Feeling charged with belief moves mountains. This approach requires no special equipment, no large initial investment, no complicated rituals. It is available to anyone willing to discipline their inner world. The only cost is the willingness to release old patterns of lack and embrace the new feeling wholeheartedly. As you persist, the conscious mind gradually stops arguing and begins to support the new conviction. Doubts fade. Faith strengthens. Life begins to feel lighter, more prosperous, even in the same physical surroundings at first. Then the surroundings themselves start to change to match the upgraded inner state. The feeling of wealth produces wealth. This is not mere theory or wishful thinking. It is a practical, demonstrable law that has worked for countless individuals across different backgrounds and eras. It continues to work today for those who apply it sincerely. Let the truth settle deeply now. Feel wealthy. Feel secure. Feel abundant. Carry this feeling into your activities, your conversations, your quiet moments. Let it color your outlook and guide your choices. The subconscious will respond faithfully, bringing forth experiences that confirm what you have impressed upon it. In this way, wealth becomes not something you chase, but something you naturally express. It flows through you as easily as breath, because you have aligned yourself with the infinite supply that is your true heritage. The feeling leads the way, and all good things follow in its wake. Continue this practice with quiet determination and joyful expectation. The results will unfold in their perfect timing, often in surprising and delightful ways that exceed your original vision. Such is the creative power waiting within you, ready to respond to the dominant feeling you choose to nurture. The feeling of wealth produces wealth. Hold this idea as a constant companion. Let it guide you gently but surely toward greater freedom, greater joy, and greater expression of all that life has to offer. Your subconscious mind is ready and willing to deliver exactly according to the emotional blueprint you provide. Give it the blueprint of wealth, and watch as your world transforms accordingly step by step in rich and abundant measure. Repeat the word wealth quietly and feelingly as a lullaby to your subconscious. This simple yet profound practice holds the key to unlocking vast reservoirs of abundance that already exist within the depths of your mind. When you take the single word wealth and repeat it softly, rhythmically, with genuine emotional warmth, you are not engaging in empty chanting or mechanical affirmation. Instead, you are gently lulling your deeper mind into a state of peaceful acceptance, much like a mother singing a soothing lullaby to her child at bedtime. The conscious mind rests, objections fade, and the subconscious opens like fertile soil, ready to receive the seed of prosperity. Dr. Joseph Murphy taught that the subconscious mind responds best to impressions made in a relaxed, drowsy, or meditative state. In that receptive condition, Suggestions sink deeply without resistance. Repeating wealth quietly and feelingly creates exactly that ideal atmosphere. Each repetition carries the emotional tone of abundance, freedom, ease, and overflowing supply. You do not shout the word or strain to believe it. You whisper it tenderly, allowing the feeling of richness to permeate every syllable. The rhythm becomes hypnotic, calming the surface worries and planting the idea firmly in the creative layers below. Imagine lying comfortably in bed at night, your body fully relaxed, your breathing slow and even. The day's activities have quieted. Now, instead of reviewing problems or replaying financial concerns, you begin to repeat the word wealth in a soft, melodic tone. Wealth, wealth, wealth. Each utterance is filled with the warm sensation of having more than enough, of money flowing freely, of security and joy surrounding your financial life. The word itself is short and powerful. It needs no long sentences or complicated visualizations at first. The feeling wrapped around the word does the real work. This lullaby method bypasses the critical faculty of the conscious mind. The conscious mind often argues, but I don't see the money yet, or my bills are still here. Such objections block progress. By using a single, soothing word repeated like a lullaby, you avoid triggering those arguments. The subconscious does not debate. It accepts what is impressed upon it with feeling. As you continue night after night, the repetition builds a new mental habit. The idea of wealth becomes natural, familiar, and eventually dominant. The power lies in the combination of quiet repetition and deep feeling. Saying the word mechanically without emotion produces minimal results. But when you infuse each wealth with the actual sensation of prosperity, the subconscious responds enthusiastically. Feel the relief that comes when financial pressure lifts. Feel the confidence of knowing supply is always available. Feel the generosity that arises when you have plenty to share. Let these emotions ride gently on the word as you repeat it. The lullaby becomes a vehicle that carries rich emotional content straight into the subconscious treasury. Many who have practiced this report that the word wealth starts to evoke an automatic positive response over time. At first it may feel unfamiliar or even slightly forced, but persistence softens the practice. The repetition grows smoother, the feeling deeper. Some describe a warm, expansive sensation spreading through the chest or a quiet excitement building as they drift towards sleep. These are signs that the subconscious is beginning to accept the new programming. The best times for this lullaby practice are the moments when the mind is naturally transitioning, early morning upon waking while still drowsy, or especially at night just before falling asleep. In the evening, as the body prepares for rest, the subconscious becomes highly suggestible. Repeating wealth, wealth, wealth softly for 10 to 15 minutes or longer creates a powerful impression that works through the night. While the conscious mind sleeps, the deeper mind continues processing the seed idea, organizing opportunities and dissolving inner blocks. During the day, you can also use shorter versions of this practice. Whenever tension about money arises, pause, take a slow breath, and repeat the word wealth quietly to yourself several times with feeling. It acts as a gentle reset, pulling your attention away from lack and back to abundance. In traffic, while waiting in line, or during a quiet break, this mini lullaby can maintain the new consciousness. The more consistently you return to the word with feeling, the faster the subconscious aligns with prosperity. Dr. Murphy often compared the subconscious to a garden. Whatever seeds you plant through feeling and repetition will grow. Repeating wealth as a lullaby is like planting the finest seed of abundance and watering it daily with calm conviction. Weeds of worry and doubt may still appear at first, but as the new seed takes root, it crowds out the old growth. Eventually, the garden of your mind blossoms with ideas, opportunities, and tangible results that reflect wealth. One practitioner shared how he transformed his financial situation using only this method. Facing mounting credit card debt and irregular income, he stopped obsessing over numbers and budgets. Instead, every night he lay quietly and repeated wealth like a soft, endless lullaby. He did not visualize specific amounts or beg for solutions. He simply infused the word with the feeling of being prosperous and at ease. Within a few weeks, he received an unexpected bonus at work. Then a relative repaid an old loan he had forgotten about. Creative ideas for additional income began flowing naturally. The outer changes followed the inner lullaby because the subconscious had been gently conditioned to expect and produce wealth. Another individual, a small business owner struggling with slow sales, adopted the same nightly practice. She would whisper, "Wealth, wealth, wealth," while feeling the satisfaction of a thriving enterprise and happy customers. Gradually, her marketing efforts became more inspired. She attracted better clients without extra advertising spend. Referrals increased. The business began to grow steadily. She attributed the shift not to working harder, but to the quiet reprogramming of her subconscious through the lullaby of wealth. The practice works because it is simple, repeatable, and emotionally charged. Complexity often creates resistance. Long affirmations can tire the mind or invite doubt. A single word repeated feelingly avoids these pitfalls. Wealth is broad enough to encompass financial freedom, career success, creative fulfillment, and overall prosperity. It leaves room for the infinite intelligence within the subconscious to work out the perfect details. You do not need to dictate how the wealth arrives. You simply impress the feeling, and the subconscious finds the way. To deepen the effect, combine the repetition with slow, relaxed breathing. Inhale gently while thinking the word silently, then exhale while softly whispering or thinking wealth. The rhythm of breath and word creates a natural trance-like state that enhances receptivity. Some people find it helpful to place a hand lightly over the heart or solar plexus area, feeling the warmth of abundance spreading from within as they repeat the lullaby. Avoid forcing belief or trying to convince yourself intellectually. The lullaby method is not about willpower or logical persuasion. It is about surrender and gentle impression. Let the word and the feeling do the work. If doubts arise during the day, do not fight them. Simply return to the quiet repetition at the next available peaceful moment. Consistency over time dissolves resistance far more effectively than forceful effort. As the practice continues, you may notice subtle shifts in your daily experience. Money concerns lose their emotional grip. You feel lighter when thinking about finances. Unexpected small windfalls appear: a refund, a discount, a gift. These are early confirmations that the subconscious is responding. Celebrate them quietly and use them as fuel to strengthen the feeling behind the word wealth. The lullaby can also be adapted for specific situations. If facing a particular bill or financial decision, still use the same single word rather than focusing on the problem. Repeating wealth feelingly redirects energy from fear to faith. The subconscious then works to harmonize the situation with your new inner state. Solutions emerge that you might never have considered while gripped by worry. Many have found that repeating the word during meditation or quiet prayer times amplifies the results. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and let wealth flow like a gentle mantra. Keep the tone soft and loving, as if singing to a beloved part of yourself. This practice aligns the personal mind with the universal flow of abundance, infinite in intelligence, which Murphy called the God power within, responds to such harmonious impressions by opening new channels of supply. The beauty of this method is its accessibility. It requires no money, no special tools, no advanced knowledge. Anyone, regardless of current financial circumstances, can begin tonight. Start with just 5 or 10 minutes of quiet repetition before sleep. Let the word wealth cradle you into restful slumber. Wake with the same gentle thought, if possible. Over weeks and months, the cumulative effect compounds like interest in a bank account. Some people write the word wealth on a small card and keep it by their bed as a visual reminder. Others record their own voice softly repeating the word and play it at low volume while falling asleep. The subconscious absorbs the message even during light sleep. Experiment gently to find what helps you maintain the feeling most easily, but always return to the core, quiet, feeling-filled repetition. Critics sometimes dismiss such practices as overly simplistic, yet simplicity is precisely its strength. The subconscious mind loves clear, emotionally charged impressions. Overcomplicating the process with dozens of statements or detailed scenarios can scatter focus and weaken impact. The single word wealth repeated as a lullaby concentrates the entire idea of prosperity into one potent seed. The feeling you add gives it life and growth power. As you master this lullaby, you will discover that the word begins to evoke wealth automatically throughout the day. Hearing or thinking wealth triggers the associated feeling without conscious effort. This is the goal, a new automatic response pattern that replaces old habits of scarcity thinking. Once established, the subconscious works 24 hours a day to bring your outer world into alignment with this prosperous inner state. Continue the practice with patience and trust. Some results appear quickly. Others unfold gradually as deeper layers of old conditioning are gently released. The lullaby works on those hidden beliefs that may have blocked prosperity for years. Ideas such as money is hard to get, rich people are unhappy, or I don't deserve abundance. Each soft repetition of wealth with feeling loosens these limitations and replaces them with expansive possibility. In group settings or with a partner, the practice can be shared by repeating the word together in a calm, rhythmic tone. The combined emotional energy can strengthen the impression for everyone involved. Families or close friends practicing the wealth lullaby often report collective improvements in household finances and reduced money-related arguments. The lullaby method also supports other areas of life. You can adapt it by repeating words like health, harmony, success, or peace with the same quiet, feeling tone. The principle remains identical. Gentle, repetitive impression in a relaxed state reprograms the subconscious for the desired outcome. For wealth specifically, the word carries a direct financial vibration that resonates with the circulation of money and opportunity. Remember that feeling is the secret. As you repeat wealth, let the emotion of prosperity fill you. Sense it in your body as relaxed confidence, in your mind as clear optimism, in your spirit as grateful connection to infinite supply. The more vividly you feel it, even if only subtly at first, the deeper the impression becomes. Night after night, the lullaby continues its quiet work. While you sleep peacefully, the subconscious organizes resources, attracts helpful people, and inspires creative solutions. You may wake with fresh ideas or a lighter heart. These are natural outcomes of the inner work accomplished through the simple repetition of wealth as a soothing lullaby. The practice invites you to live from the end result in consciousness. By feeling wealthy through the lullaby before the money fully appears, you impress the subconscious with the finished picture. It then moves heaven and earth, so to speak, to make the outer experience match the inner conviction. This is the creative use of mind that Dr. Murphy so beautifully demonstrated throughout his teachings. Keep the repetition gentle and consistent. Do not count the number of times or set rigid timers that create pressure. Let the lullaby flow naturally, like waves lapping on a shore. Some evenings it may last longer. Other times just a few minutes feel sufficient. The quality of feeling matters far more than quantity. A few sincerely felt repetitions can be more powerful than hundreds spoken without emotion. As the weeks pass, you will likely notice a growing sense of inner security. Financial news or market fluctuations affect you less. You respond from a centered place of trust rather than reactive fear. This emotional stability itself becomes a magnet for better conditions. People are drawn to those who carry quiet competence and prosperity consciousness. Opportunities appear where none existed before. The lullaby of wealth ultimately reconnects you with your true nature as a channel for infinite abundance. The universe operates on principles of plenty. Think of the endless grains from one field, the vastness of oceans, the billions of stars. Your subconscious is part of that same creative intelligence. By lulling it with the word wealth, feelingly, you align yourself with that boundless flow. Money then circulates joyfully in your experience, serving both your needs and the greater good. Continue this beautiful practice every night and in quiet moments throughout the day. Let wealth become your secret song, your personal lullaby that soothes away limitation and awakens prosperity. The subconscious listens lovingly, accepts the impression completely, and begins reshaping your world from the inside out. Each soft repetition plants another seed. Each feeling-filled utterance waters the garden of abundance within. The results will reveal themselves in due time through improved finances, inspired ideas, harmonious relationships around money, and a deeper sense of freedom. All of this begins with the simple, powerful act of repeating the word wealth, wealth, quietly and feelingly as a lullaby to your subconscious. Let the practice become as natural as breathing. Whisper it with love. Feel it with conviction. Trust the deeper mind to do its perfect work. The lullaby continues its magic, night after night, moment by moment, gently guiding you toward the wealthy life that is your natural birthright. Repeat the word wealth quietly and feelingly as a lullaby to your subconscious. Let it echo softly within you now, carrying the warm promise of abundance. Feel the words settle deeply, peacefully, creating new pathways for prosperity to flow easily and joyfully into every area of your experience. The subconscious receives it gladly and starts its creative process immediately, bringing forth conditions that match this beautiful inner song of wealth. As you make this lullaby a regular part of your life, the transformation unfolds naturally and gracefully. Old patterns dissolve without struggle. New opportunities arise with surprising ease. The feeling of wealth grows stronger each time you repeat the word with sincere emotion. This is the gentle power of the lullaby at work, reprogramming your inner world for lasting outer riches. Keep returning to the soft repetition whenever your mind wanders back to lack or worry. The lullaby acts as a loving anchor, pulling you back to truth and abundance. Over time, it becomes your default response, your automatic inner melody that plays prosperity into reality. The practice is yours to enjoy and refine. Experiment with tone, rhythm, and timing until it feels perfectly soothing and effective for you. Some prefer a slightly musical quality, others a steady, monotone whisper. Both work beautifully as long as the feeling of wealth accompanies every utterance. In this way, repeating wealth quietly and feelingly as a lullaby becomes more than a technique. It becomes a way of life, a constant, gentle reminder of your innate connection to infinite supply. The subconscious, lulled into harmonious acceptance, responds by manifesting wealth in all its forms. Financial freedom, creative fulfillment, peaceful confidence, and generous circulation of good. This single practice, kept simple and heartfelt, has the capacity to revolutionize your relationship with money and success. It requires only your willingness to relax, to feel, and to repeat the word with quiet conviction. The rest is handled perfectly by the wisdom and power of your own subconscious mind. Let the lullaby continue. Let the wool flow through your thoughts like a soft, endless river of abundance. Feel it nourishing every cell, every belief, every expectation. The subconscious drinks in this gentle song and reflects it back to you in tangible, wonderful ways that enrich your life beyond measure. The word wealth, repeated quietly and feelingly, night after night, builds a consciousness so strong that prosperity becomes inevitable. It is the lullaby that calms limitation and awakens the sleeping giant of abundance within. Keep singing it softly to yourself. The deeper mind is listening, and it is ready to deliver riches in exact proportion to the feeling you impress. Your subconscious is a universal bank deposit ideas of abundance, and it returns multiplied. This profound truth, drawn from the teachings of Dr. Joseph Murphy, reveals the subconscious mind as an inexhaustible financial institution that operates with perfect mathematical precision. Whatever you deposit into it, do your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and sustained mental impressions, it accepts without question and returns to you multiplied, often in ways that far exceed your initial input. Just as a bank takes your savings and generates compound interest through wise investment, Your subconscious takes the seeds of abundance you plant and grows them into tangible harvests of wealth, opportunity, and prosperity. The key is understanding that this universal bank does not judge or discriminate. It simply magnifies whatever you consistently impress upon it, whether ideas of plenty or ideas of lack. Think of the subconscious as a vast cosmic treasury connected to infinite intelligence. It is not limited by physical boundaries or economic conditions. It draws from the boundless supply of the universe itself ideas, people, circumstances, and resources that align perfectly with the dominant deposit you make. When you deposit thoughts and feelings of abundance, such as a deep inner conviction that money flows freely, that opportunities are endless, and that supply is always available, the subconscious begins its work immediately. It magnifies these impressions by orchestrating events, inspiring creative solutions, and attracting the right conditions to bring your deposit back multiplied. The mechanism is both simple and awe-inspiring. Your conscious mind chooses what to deposit. You can feed it images of financial struggle, worry over bills, or resentment toward wealth, and the bank will dutifully multiply those, returning experiences of scarcity and limitation. Or you can consciously choose to deposit rich ideas of abundance, feeling the joy of financial freedom, sensing the ease of generous living, believing in the constant circulation of good, and watch as the returns compound in remarkable ways. This is not wishful thinking or mere positive thinking. It is the scientific operation of the law of mind. The subconscious acts as the creative medium, taking your mental and emotional deposits and expanding them into objective reality. Dr. Murphy often illustrated this with the analogy of a financial institution. Deposit a small amount of money, and through interest and wise management it grows. Similarly, deposit even a modest but consistent idea of wealth into the subconscious, and it returns compounded abundance. The multiplication happens because the subconscious is linked to universal mind, the infinite source that knows no limits. It can draw from unseen realms, new inventions, unexpected opportunities, helpful connections, or inspired actions that your conscious mind alone could never orchestrate. The returns are not always in the exact form you imagined, but they manifest as increased income, better opportunities, debt relief, or creative breakthroughs that elevate your entire financial picture. To make effective deposits, one must move beyond surface-level affirmations and engage the feeling nature. The subconscious responds most powerfully to emotionalized ideas. When you deposit not just the thought, "I am abundant," but the actual feeling of living in plenty, the warmth of security, the excitement of sharing, the peace of knowing there is always more than enough, the impression sinks deeper. This emotional charge acts like high-yield investment. It accelerates the multiplication process because feeling is the language the subconscious understands best. Consider how this works in daily practice. In quiet, relaxed moments, especially before sleep when the conscious mind is less active, you can make deliberate deposits. Visualize yourself handling money with ease and gratitude. Feel the satisfaction of a growing bank balance or the freedom of pursuing meaningful work without financial pressure. Speak silently or softly of the endless circulation of wealth in your life. These impressions are like currency placed into the universal bank. Overnight, while you rest, the subconscious invests them, seeking out avenues for growth and return. Many have awakened to fresh ideas, timely phone calls, or sudden insights that translate directly into multiplied good. The beauty of this universal bank is its reliability and impartiality. It does not favor the already wealthy or penalize the beginner. Anyone can open an account by changing what they deposit. A person starting with very little in outer terms can still deposit rich mental equivalence ideas of prosperity, faith in infinite supply, and feelings of gratitude for what is already present. The bank honors these deposits equally and begins the multiplication immediately. Over time, small consistent deposits build momentum, much like regular savings grow into significant wealth through compounding. One powerful way to strengthen deposits is through the practice of gratitude and expectancy. Each time you acknowledge even minor financial blessings, a paid bill, a small saving, an unexpected discount, you are making a positive deposit that reinforces abundance. Gratitude signals to the subconscious that you expect more of the same, prompting it to magnify the flow. Expectancy, the quiet confidence that good is coming, adds another layer of emotional power. Together, they create high-value impressions that the universal bank invests generously. Contrast this with negative deposits that so many make unconsciously. Worrying about money, complaining about expenses, or envying others' success are all withdrawals or poor investments that the subconscious multiplies in the form of more problems. The bank does not refuse these. It simply processes them according to the law. This is why shifting the deposit pattern is so transformative. When you stop feeding scarcity and begin consistently depositing abundance, the old patterns lose their power and new multiplied returns start appearing. Real-life examples abound of individuals who learn to use their subconscious as this universal bank. A struggling entrepreneur, burdened by debt and slow business, decided to change his mental deposits. Instead of focusing on empty order books and rising costs, he spent time each evening depositing ideas of thriving customers, smooth operations, and increasing revenue. He felt the excitement of success as if it were already happening. Within months, new clients appeared from unexpected sources. Innovative ideas boosted his offerings, and revenue multiplied. The subconscious had taken his deposits and connected him with the right people and opportunities, returning far more than he initially impressed. Another case involved a professional-facing job insecurity. Rather than depositing fear of unemployment, she began impressing the subconscious with feelings of value, recognition, and abundant compensation. She visualized herself in a role that utilized her talents fully and returned generous rewards. The universal bank responded by opening doors to a better position with higher pay and greater fulfillment. What seemed like a risky leap became a natural progression because the inner deposits had prepared the way through multiplied creative intelligence. The multiplication effect extends beyond mere finances. Depositing ideas of abundance influences health, relationships, and overall well-being. A prosperous consciousness tends to attract harmonious conditions in every area. The subconscious, acting as the universal bank, invests your deposits across the whole spectrum of life, creating a rich, multifaceted return. This is because true abundance is holistic. It encompasses peace of mind, creative expression, loving connections, and material supply. To maximize returns, maintain consistency in your deposits. Sporadic efforts yield limited interest, while daily, feeling-filled impressions compound powerfully. Make it a habit to review your mental account regularly. Ask yourself what you are depositing today, thoughts of limitation or thoughts of limitless good. Adjust as needed, gently redirecting toward abundance. Over weeks and months, this disciplined approach builds a substantial inner balance that the subconscious then multiplies outwardly. The universal bank also honors the quality of your deposits. Vague or half-hearted ideas produce modest returns. Clear, vivid, emotionally charged impressions of wealth, seeing yourself living prosperously, feeling the joy of contribution, believing in constant divine surplus generate exponential growth. The subconscious loves specificity wrapped in feeling. It can take a well-defined deposit and weave intricate patterns of manifestation that fulfill the intent in beautiful, often surprising ways. Some find it helpful to use written statements or mental pictures as deposit slips. Write down affirmations of abundance or create a mental movie of prosperous living. Then charge them with sincere emotion before offering them to the subconscious. Others prefer silent contemplation, resting in the awareness of infinite supply and allowing feelings of gratitude to permeate the deposit. Both methods work because they impress the deeper mind effectively. The universal bank receives them and begins the creative process of multiplication. This principle aligns with the spiritual truth that God, or infinite intelligence, expresses as harmony, beauty, joy, and abundance through you. The subconscious serves as the channel, the universal bank through which this divine supply flows. When you deposit ideas that align with this truth, ideas of effortless circulation, generous living, and grateful receiving, you open wider channels for the flow. The returns are multiplied because you are cooperating with the natural law rather than resisting it through scarcity thinking. Avoid the common mistake of checking the account too frequently or demanding immediate large withdrawals. The multiplication often happens gradually at first, building a strong foundation before major manifestations appear. Trust the process. The universal bank is always working, even when outer evidence seems slow. Continued positive deposits ensure steady growth and eventual abundant returns. Patience combined with persistence yields the highest compound interest. As your deposits of abundance become habitual, you will notice a shift in your entire orientation toward life. Money concerns lose their emotional charge. Decisions become clearer and more inspired. Opportunities that once passed unnoticed now stand out vividly. This is the subconscious at work, having magnified your deposits and adjusted your perception and actions accordingly. The multiplied returns include not only material wealth, but also increased wisdom, confidence, and creative power. The universal bank operates 24 hours a day. While you sleep, it continues investing your latest deposits, solving problems, attracting resources, and aligning circumstances. Many successful individuals credit nightly impressions for breakthrough ideas that arrived upon waking. The subconscious never rests. It tirelessly works to bring your mental deposits into physical form. This constant activity makes consistent, high-quality deposits especially potent. Releasing old limiting beliefs is part of wise banking practice. Past experiences of lack or failure may have left negative balances in the subconscious. By consciously depositing new ideas of abundance repeatedly, you overwrite those old entries. The universal bank gradually clears the outdated accounts and fills them with fresh, prosperous capital. Forgiveness toward past financial mistakes or perceived shortcomings accelerates this cleansing, freeing energy for greater multiplication. The returns from this universal bank often come through unexpected channels. A new business contact, a creative inspiration, a timely inheritance, or an innovative solution to a problem, these are all forms of multiplied abundance. The subconscious draws from the infinite storehouse of universal mind, connecting you with whatever is needed to fulfill the deposit. Your role is to remain open and receptive, ready to act on the guidance or opportunities that appear. In challenging economic times, those who maintain strong deposits of abundance in their subconscious universal bank fare better than those who withdraw into fear. While outer conditions fluctuate, the inner account remains stable and continues to grow through wise mental investment. This inner security translates into outer resilience, allowing creative responses that turn difficulties into advantages. The multiplied returns then become even more valuable as proofs of the law's reliability. Building wealth consciousness through this method is accessible to everyone. It requires no large initial capital, only the willingness to monitor and upgrade your mental deposits. Start small if necessary. Deposit simple feelings of gratitude for current supply and gentle expectations of increase. As comfort grows, enlarge the deposits with richer images and deeper feelings of prosperity. The universal bank accepts all genuine impressions and multiplies them according to their emotional weight and consistency. This approach transforms the pursuit of wealth from struggle into harmonious co-creation. Instead of forcing outcomes through endless outer effort, you work in partnership with the subconscious, depositing the blueprint of abundance and allowing it to handle the details of manifestation. The multiplied returns free you to express your talents more fully, contribute more generously, and enjoy life more completely. The universal bank also teaches the importance of circulation. Wording mental ideas of scarcity blocks the flow. Depositing ideas that wealth circulates freely, coming in and going out for the benefit of all, keeps the account dynamic and growing. Generosity in thought and action reinforces this circulation, prompting the subconscious to multiply the flow in both directions. What you give out in consciousness returns multiplied. As you continue making regular deposits of abundance, the subconscious builds a powerful momentum. Small returns encourage larger ones. Each successful manifestation strengthens faith, which in turn improves the quality of future deposits. This positive cycle creates exponential growth, where the multiplied returns themselves become new deposits that generate even greater abundance. The principle applies universally across different life areas. Deposit ideas of harmonious relationships, and the bank multiplies loving connections. Deposit ideas of vital health and well-being expands. For financial wealth specifically, the universal bank specializes in magnifying supply through ideas of prosperity, success, and divine surplus. The same law governs all, demonstrating the wholeness of the creative mind within. Maintaining awareness of this universal bank encourages mindful living. Every thought becomes a potential deposit. Choosing abundance consciously becomes a delightful habit that enriches every moment. The subconscious responds appreciatively, returning multiplied evidence that life is indeed abundant when aligned with its laws. Dr. Murphy emphasized that wealth is ultimately a state of consciousness. By treating the subconscious as a universal bank and depositing ideas of that prosperous state, you build the inner conviction that manifests outwardly. The multiplication is the natural outcome of this alignment with infinite intelligence, which delights in expressing abundance through willing channels. Keep making those deposits with quiet confidence and joyful expectancy. Feel the reality of abundance as you impress the subconscious. The universal bank is open, responsive, and infinitely resourceful. It takes your ideas of plenty and returns them multiplied in forms tailored perfectly to your highest good. The process is reliable, the returns generous, and the transformation profound for those who learn to deposit wisely. Your subconscious is a universal bank deposit ideas of abundance, and it returns multiplied. Let this truth guide your mental investments daily. Each positive impression compounds over time, building a fortune in consciousness that the outer world must eventually reflect. The law is precise, the mechanism perfect, and the potential unlimited when you consistently choose abundance as your deposit. Continue this practice with dedication, watching as the multiplied returns unfold in your finances, your opportunities, your peace of mind, and your overall experience of life. The universal bank within you stands ready, eager to magnify every idea of good you entrust to it, bringing forth riches in measure far beyond what you initially deposit. This is the creative power available to you now, operating through the wondrous mechanism of your own subconscious mind. The more faithfully you deposit ideas of abundance, the more naturally the multiplication occurs. Old limitations fade as new prosperous realities take their place. The universal bank balances your account perfectly according to the law of mind, ensuring that what you impress returns in kind always multiplied when charged with feeling and sustained by faith. This understanding empowers you to become a conscious co-creator of wealth. No longer at the mercy of external conditions, you direct the flow by choosing your deposits. The subconscious, acting as the faithful universal bank, handles the investment and delivers the compounded results with unerring accuracy. Embrace this role fully and watch as abundance multiplies in every department of your life. God is the source. Wealth circulates freely when you align with it. This eternal truth stands at the heart of all genuine prosperity consciousness, revealing that the true origin of every form of riches lies not in outer conditions, banks, markets, or human effort alone, but in the infinite intelligence that Dr. Joseph Murphy identified as God within the boundless creative power that animates all existence. When you consciously align your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with this divine source, wealth begins to circulate through your life with effortless freedom, much like blood flows through a healthy body or rivers move through a fertile landscape. Alignment means recognizing and accepting that you are a channel for this infinite supply rather than its sole generator, allowing the natural flow of abundance to move in and through you without blockage or resistance. Infinite intelligence, the God power that Murphy described as the life principle within every person, knows no lack, no limitation, and no end. It is the same intelligence that creates galaxies, sustains life in countless forms, and expresses as perfect order throughout the universe. Wealth, in this understanding, is simply one of its many expressions, money serving as a symbol of divine opulence, beauty, refinement, and endless circulation. When you affirm and feel that God is the source of your supply, whether for energy, ideas, opportunities, or financial resources, you tune your entire being to this inexhaustible treasure house. The subconscious mind, acting as the faithful mediator, then accepts this alignment and orchestrates the free movement of wealth into your experience. Alignment happens first in consciousness. It begins with the quiet realization that you do not have to struggle or beg for supply because the source is already within you and around you. Murphy taught that what is true of God is true of you, since the divine presence dwells at the center of your being. God is infinite supply, the inexhaustible treasure house. Therefore, as you claim this truth feelingly, the same qualities become active in your life. Wealth circulates freely because you stop hoarding mental images of scarcity and instead open wide the inner gates through faith, gratitude, and relaxed expectancy. The circulation as natural wealth comes in, blesses your life, and flows out again in the form of wise spending, generous giving, creative investment, and joyful living, creating a dynamic, ever-increasing stream. Consider the practical power of this alignment in daily thought and feeling. Instead of focusing on outer appearances of limited funds or economic uncertainty, you turn inward and declare with deep conviction, God is the source of my supply. This statement is not empty words, but a living realization that impresses the subconscious profoundly. As you repeat it quietly, especially in relaxed states, the deeper mind absorbs the truth that infinite intelligence meets every need instantly and perfectly. Bills become opportunities to witness the flow rather than sources of fear. Unexpected income appears through new channels because your alignment has removed inner dams that previously restricted circulation. Murphy often shared how individuals who adopted this awareness saw money pour in after years of struggle, simply by shifting their identification from personal effort to divine source. The free circulation of wealth depends on your willingness to let go of limiting beliefs that interrupt the flow. Beliefs such as, money is hard to keep, there is never enough, or I must hoard to feel secure, create mental and emotional contractions that block the natural movement. When you align with God as the source, these beliefs dissolve because you recognize that the infinite does not operate under conditions of lack. Supply is omnipresent, like the air you breathe or the sunlight that reaches every corner of the earth. Alignment restores the free circulation by replacing contraction with expansion. Gratitude for what is already present opens the channel wider, while joyful expectancy invites even greater flow. One of the most effective ways to strengthen this alignment is through the practice of silent identification with the divine source. In quiet moments, perhaps before sleep or upon waking, you can contemplate the truth that God's riches flow freely, copiously, and abundantly into your experience. Feel the reality of this circulation as a warm, confident knowing throughout your body and mind. Murphy recommended prayers and affirmations such as, I am a channel through which God's riches flow, ceaselessly, copiously, and freely. When charged with genuine feeling, these impressions condition the subconscious to expect and accept the free movement of wealth. The result is often surprising synchronicities, opportunities arriving at the perfect time, helpful people appearing, creative ideas emerging that translate directly into financial increase. Alignment also involves releasing any sense of separation between yourself and the source. Many people look outside themselves for wealth, chasing jobs, investments, or luck, while overlooking the kingdom of infinite riches within. Murphy emphasized that the greatest secret is that God dwells within, and the subconscious is the treasure house of infinity. When you align by turning inward first, the outer world rearranges itself to reflect that inner harmony. Wealth then circulates not as a sporadic windfall, but as a steady, reliable stream that supports both personal freedom and meaningful contribution to others. This principle explains why some individuals seem to attract money effortlessly, while others struggle despite hard work. The difference lies in alignment. Those who consciously or unconsciously recognize infinite intelligence as the source carry an inner atmosphere of trust and openness. Wealth flows to them and through them because there is no inner resistance. They use money wisely and constructively, blessing humanity in various ways, which further enhances the circulation. In contrast, misalignment through fear or doubt creates friction that slows or reverses the flow, leading to experiences of lack even when outer opportunities exist. Dr. Murphy illustrated this with numerous accounts of people who transformed their financial lives by affirming God as the source. A minister facing church debt began praying that infinite intelligence would reveal better ways to share spiritual truths. Money flowed in abundantly, the mortgage was cleared, and financial worry disappeared. The key was his alignment shifting from personal anxiety to reliance on the divine source, which then expressed as practical solutions and increased supply. Similarly, business owners who claimed God supplies all my needs according to his riches in glory reported new clients, innovative ideas, and effortless growth once they released the burden of trying to force outcomes alone. The circulation becomes even freer when you include gratitude as a constant companion to alignment. Giving thanks for the supply already manifesting, however small it may appear, signals to the subconscious and to infinite intelligence that you are a ready and appreciative channel. Gratitude keeps the channel clear and wide, preventing the accumulation of mental debris that could impede flow. Murphy taught that the universe responds to a grateful heart with generosity and precision. When you feel thankful for the divine source operating in your life, wealth circulates more joyfully, often multiplying through unexpected avenues such as refunds, gifts, inspired business ventures, or career advancements. Alignment invites divine wisdom to guide your actions around wealth. Rather than making decisions from panic or greed, you quiet the mind and allow infinite intelligence to direct you. Murphy described this as letting the government be upon his shoulders, turning requests over to the indwelling presence with the knowing that it will lead, prosper, and counsel perfectly. In this state, investments, purchases, and career moves align with higher good, ensuring that wealth circulates constructively rather than destructively. You spend and invest with wisdom, blessing yourself and others, which in turn keeps the stream flowing strongly. This truth applies universally, transcending background, education, or current financial status. The source is no respecter of persons. Infinite intelligence is available to all who align with it. A person starting with limited resources can begin today by affirming and feeling that God is the source, and wealth circulates freely in their experience. As this alignment deepens, outer conditions gradually conform, debts diminish, income increases, and a sense of peaceful abundance replaces former anxiety. The circulation manifests not only as money, but as rich ideas, vital energy, harmonious relationships, and overall fulfillment. Maintaining alignment requires gentle consistency rather than forceful striving. Daily quiet contemplation, combined with the lullaby-like repetition of wealth principles, keeps the connection strong. Whenever thoughts of lack arise, return softly to the realization, God is the source, and wealth circulates freely when I align with it. This mental redirect prevents small doubts from growing into blockages. Over time, the alignment becomes your natural state of being, and the free circulation of wealth feels as normal and effortless as breathing. The divine source expresses wealth in myriad forms, adapting perfectly to individual needs and circumstances. For one person, it may appear as a thriving business, for another as steady employment with generous compensation, for yet another as creative projects that generate income while fulfilling a higher purpose. Infinite intelligence knows the ideal pathway and timing for each, orchestrating events when the inner alignment is present. Murphy often reminded his readers that God is always successful in all undertakings, from creating stars to meeting human needs. Aligning with this success consciousness ensures that wealth flows according to divine order harmoniously, abundantly, and for the highest good. Free circulation also means releasing wealth with joy rather than attachment. When you give generously, whether through tithing, charitable acts, or wise sharing, you affirm your trust in the infinite source. This outward flow prevents stagnation and invites fresh supply to enter. Many who practice alignment report that periods of generous giving were followed by even greater returns, proving the dynamic nature of divine circulation. The source never depletes, it replenishes and multiplies as you remain aligned. In moments of apparent delay or challenge, alignment provides the steady anchor. Instead of reacting with worry, you affirm more deeply that the source is unchanging and eternal. Infinite intelligence is preparing the ground, sending guidance, and placing opportunities along your path, even if not yet visible. This patient trust keeps the channel open, allowing wealth to resume its free circulation once inner conditions are fully harmonized. Murphy's teachings are filled with stories of individuals who persisted in this alignment through difficult times and eventually witnessed remarkable turnarounds. Alignment with the source elevates your entire relationship with money. It transforms money from a source of stress into a neutral, positive tool for expression and service. You view wealth as God's opulence flowing through you, to be used judiciously and constructively. This elevated perspective removes guilt or greed, replacing them with peaceful stewardship. Wealth circulates freely because you no longer cling fearfully or pursue desperately. You simply allow the divine flow to move through conscious cooperation. The practice deepens when combined with visualization charged by feeling. See yourself as a clear, open channel, wealth entering from the infinite source, blessing your life with freedom and joy, then flowing outward to enrich others and create new cycles of good. Feel the ease, the gratitude, the excitement of this continuous circulation. Such mental movies offered to the subconscious in relaxed states reinforce the alignment and accelerate manifestation. The subconscious, linked directly to infinite intelligence, then works tirelessly to bring the inner picture into outer form. This principle also heals hidden blocks from past experiences. Old memories of financial loss or hardship can create subconscious resistance to free circulation. By repeatedly aligning with God as the source, you rewrite those impressions with the truth of eternal abundance. Forgiveness toward past mistakes or perceived failures clears the channel further, allowing wealth to flow without hindrance. Murphy taught that renewing the mind in this way leads to complete transformation, where former limitations give way to a prosperous consciousness. As alignment becomes habitual, you notice wealth circulating in subtle as well as dramatic ways. Small synchronicities accumulate, finding money, receiving timely discounts, ideas that save or generate income. These build confidence in the source and encourage even stronger alignment. Eventually, the free circulation feels so natural that prosperity consciousness becomes your default way of living. Challenges in other areas of life often resolve more easily too, because the same infinite intelligence governs all aspects of existence. God is the source. Wealth circulates freely when you align with it. This realization empowers you to live from a place of inner richness, regardless of temporary outer appearances. It frees you from the illusion that supply depends on external factors alone and reconnects you with the boundless creative power within. Infinite intelligence delights in expressing abundance through those who remain aligned, open, grateful, and trusting. The circulation then becomes a joyful dance of giving and receiving, where every need is met, every good is multiplied, and life unfolds in ever greater measures of harmony and fulfillment. Continue deepening this alignment through daily recognition of the divine source. Feel its presence as the light, wisdom, and power guiding your financial affairs. Allow wealth to move freely by releasing fear and embracing the truth that supply is omnipresent and eternal. The more completely you align, the more effortlessly the riches of infinity express in your experience, circulating in perfect rhythm with the universal laws of mind and spirit. In this state of alignment, decisions around money carry a quiet certainty. You are guided to right action, prosperous opportunities, and constructive uses of wealth that benefit both self and others. The source never withholds. It only awaits your conscious cooperation through alignment. When that cooperation is full and steady, wealth flows as naturally as the tides, bringing with it peace, freedom, and the deep satisfaction of living in harmony with infinite intelligence. The teachings of Dr. Joseph Murphy make this principle accessible and practical for every person. By claiming God as the source and feeling the free circulation of wealth, you activate the same power that has lifted countless individuals from limitation to abundance. The alignment is gentle yet powerful, requiring no complex rituals, only sincere recognition, relaxed faith, and consistent inner attunement. As you live from this truth, the outer world mirrors the inner reality more and more clearly, with wealth circulating freely in beautiful, abundant measure.